Hi, this is Davidian Lyon of Raquel and Davidian. So since our mind's chatter can be so frickin' loud sometimes, what are some ways you can start increasing the volume on your inner authority? Okay, so maybe you're having trouble hearing your inner authority over the clamor of your mind's constant narration and puppeteering. I'd say number one is regularly listening to your inner authority, and not just sometimes, like only when it's convenient. Just like any muscle you want to build, you need to flex it regularly with weights that might push your limits a smidge. For example, let's say you have splenic authority, and you just arrived to your hotel room door from a late night red-eye flight. Let's say it's like 1:30 in the morning, and you're just bone tired, and your spleen says in its wordless way, no, not this room, before you even open the door. But it's 1:30 in the morning, and you're exhausted. Honoring your spleen's inner authority, pretty freaking inconvenient. But for whatever reason, your spleen, and in your case, its cosmic awareness, is presenting you with a choice. Is it convenient to listen to it? No. And your mind will tell you it's probably nothing and you can just change rooms in the morning if you still feel weird. Well, a few things. One, you ignored your connection to source, which your incarnated mind is presently disconnected from. Two, you may have missed out on a chance encounter that could have drastically up-leveled your trip or possibly your life in general. You won't know. You may not enjoy your trip very much. Or worse, be here to even watch this video because shit went horribly wrong in that room. In any of the ways that shit can go wrong, from annoying to something that leaves a more permanent mark. You're communicating to your spleen that its services aren't really needed, so best to keep quiet. I liken this last bit to be like what happens to the tear ducts and its ability to produce moisture in the eyes of people who routinely use lubricating eye drops, or to the testicles of those who use anabolic steroids. They shrink. Your body is a great optimizer of its resources, and if it sees that you're getting something from an outside source, it lowers the output of whatever it's producing naturally. In the case of your inner authority, when it sees you're getting your guidance from your mind, it similarly atrophies from your awareness. So just like a muscle that hasn't been used in a long time, or ever, like Neo's actual eyes when he awakens from the Matrix, it needs to be used regularly to get stronger and break through to your awareness. And your prioritizing listening to your inner authority is communicating to your body that this is an important function you no longer wish to outsource to your conditioning. Emphasis on outsource. After all, that is where your mind gets its voice. It's the spokesperson for our open centers and those energies that we're not the source of. And our mind's voice, what we're not, is way louder than what we are. Our mind is not interested in what we are, only in what we're not. What we are does not show up as a voice in our head, only what we are not. When used correctly, the mind can provide excellent intel on what's going on around us, but the not-self mind narrates to us as if the intel is about what's going on within us. And even when we are following our strategy and authority diligently, others' energies can indeed still stick around with us, within us, if we don't take time to practice good aura hygiene and decondition. See our other video above on deconditioning if you're feeling off your game. But back to the splenic authority example. When you listen to that splenic warning as you slip the card into the lock and heed not to go any further, and you return to the front desk to change rooms, and hopefully it's not a hotel-wide issue, which you discover after experiencing the same warning at a different room door. But when you honor your inner authority's guidance, you're communicating that you value and prioritize that guidance. That increases volume. Now, you may not have splenic authority, and your inner authority may take longer, like having emotional authority. So maybe the hotel room example is not as well suited for you. But an undefined G-center will also tell you when the environment you just entered is bad news, and you need to hit that just as hard. For another video's worth of reasons that you can watch at the link above. But for now, we're just talking about inner authority volume. And what I'm saying is, use it or lose it. Volume-wise. Start following your prescribed protocol. So if you're sacral, make it a priority to engage in sacral sessions to get more clarity and direction on your correct trajectory. Check out our sacral video above for more on that. If you have mental authority, Start making it a priority to flex that. And since you have an undefined G center by default, practice immediately leaving environments that are red flagging. Because when you stay in them for too long, you'll start to negatively adapt to them in a frog in slowly boiling water sort of way. If you're self-projected, you learn that you're not here to try lots of new things that feel foreign or uncomfortable to you. So if your name's Mick, you're here to do things that are totally Mick things to do. Things that Mick recognizes as something that will further Mick's goals, or recognizes as things that Mick enjoys doing, and not things that Mick is unsure about or don't check either of those boxes, particularly for big decisions, but also for like agreeing to go on a trip to do something you don't like to appease your partner. It's a nice thought, but you're not here to stretch far from your original identity. Again, things you recognize as you things to do that either recognizably complement the path you're walking or recognize as something that you know you already enjoy or believe will lead to your enjoyment or happiness. Of course, self-mastery still applies in developing to be the best you can be if that's a you thing to do. Like getting better at writing if you're a writer, or a better chiropractor if you're a chiropractor. Honing your craft. But you're not here to be adventurous if being adventurous is not a Mick thing to do. Again, we're talking about Mick with self-projected authority. It can be selfish, but this is your inner authority. So it also keeps you healthy in mind, body, and spirit. If you have ego-directed authority, same thing. Listen to it. Follow its prescribed protocol. The more you use it, the more your awareness will be attuned to its communication. Don't expect miracles overnight. Your mind will also turn up its volume at first to convince you it knows best and give you all sorts of reasons and stories why it should stay in charge. Remember, it knows where your buttons are and what it needs to say to convince not self-you, your lamer alter ego, that it should wear the pants. I'm not bashing your beautiful mind either, which is probably amazing and extraordinary for other people, or for communicating your perspective, whatever. There's simply a line drawn between powerfully and psychically helping others with your mind, when invited, and your mind's dog shit ability to lead and guide your own life. Hope this helps. Good journey.